All right, so I've seen a lot of talk in the spiritual community about diet. It's always mentioned everywhere. Don't eat meat, this and that, right? So I'm gonna talk a bit about diet, and I have been vegetarian myself before, and I have been keto myself before. I tried paleo for a minute, but I just went into keto, and I have been vegetarian before because of my yoga practice. I have not been vegan. I am very skeptical of veganism, but I am also not skeptical of veganism because I do understand the spiritual implications of it, and so there is potential for me to undergo a vegan practice in the future. But for now, we're going to talk about fruit-based diet versus plant-based diet. So, when it comes to veganism, there is very ethical, right? Like vegetarianism is very ethical. That was one of my main reasons for going vegetarian. And with a yoga practice, you have your yamas, your restrictions, and veganism and vegetarianism does go into uh, ahimsa and one of the yamas. So when people do complain about drinking cow's milk being stolen, we did evolve to drink other species milk, lactose, unfortunately. So in India and Ayurveda, drinking like mango laushi or whatever, those like these are dairy drinks. Drinking cow's milk was seen as acceptable because they could, there is instances where they do remove the cow's baby, in like capitalism and stuff, so that they can get as much milk from the mama cow as possible, which is disgusting. But there are instances, like naturally, like in India where they raise cows, they could, the baby cow could survive, live, and drink from the mother cow, and the mother cow can provide for the baby cow and for humans. The reason why this works is because a cow is a much larger animal than a human being. So like when a cow produces extra milk, the portion is it's going to be a lot of portions in human-sized portions. So I might be getting off topic here. Um, and so like like ethical reasoning for like not eating animals, is because they have souls. And so I've talked to people why can like why is it okay, to like I've talked to like people from India who have known like why is it okay to eat plants but not eat animals. And so yeah, it deals with animals having spirits and souls, and a lot of people say they do have faces. Um, so now I'm gonna go into like plant based versus fruit based, right? So as humans, like we evolved from like the rhesus macaw and lemurs, and one day we became like Ewoks and Wookiees, and then we had divine inspiration. We started walking. We got like we're able to like leave the trees, when we were rhesus macaws or whatever, and one day we had divine inspiration, possibly from the Anunnaki, to figure out how to become human beings. Maybe we saw human beings, and like maybe these like rhesus macaw like beings figured realized that they could be like that too. So they're intelligent animals, right? So the fruit based diet was a lot of monkeys were eating fruits, like mangoes and bananas. And I would say that the fruit is the only type of food that is naturally given as a gift. Plants produce fruit as a gift so that animals can eat it and disperse their seeds and help them reproduce. So it is a symbiotic relationship to eat fruits and have a fruit based diet. Um, that's why there are karmic implications for having a plant based diet, because you are not necessarily given the universal right to eat plants. You are still eating a living being. I guess a fruit. Technically, I'm not sure if a fruit would be considered alive or not, but a plant like a leaf, is like a breathing. It breathes. It has prana, So, you know, you do, like, when you do eat, like, animals and plants, you do absorb prana and you absorb karma. And it's really sad that we are, you know, the reason I have eaten animals is because I have been raised in America and my parents had fed me meat. So they had corrupted me as a young boy, young child. And, you know, it's sad, but, you know, that's the reality of the situation. And, you know, we did evolve to become hunter-gatherers at one point. So it's almost it is a biological, I don't want to say imperative, but, you know, after, like, people have been vegan for, like, 10 years, their bodies start to deteriorate and they lose B vitamins. So that is a very big issue with the vegan diet. But, you know, like plants, they produce oxygen. Does it necessarily make sense to eat something that produces oxygen, like the molecule that we require to breathe and live? So that is an issue. And so when you think about it, a cow has 4 stomachs just to digest grass. And when it comes to plants, plants have a cell wall and a cell membrane. And a cell wall is very difficult to digest. Whereas like animals only have a cell membrane. And so they are actually less difficult to digest than like plants. But, you know, it does require a more acidic like gut to digest animals. And there are a lot of talks about the benefits of alkaline diets. And I would recommend drinking alkaline water. I believe it does. When I drank alkaline water, it did help keep me hydrated much better than water that was not alkaline. But so, you know, when it comes to cows eating plants, they have 4 stomachs. And so there was kind of like this talk in ecology. So there is, like, you know, there's dharma when it comes to like what you eat. And so, you know, the cow has the dharma to eat grass. That is what a cow eats. It has 4 stomachs so it can eat grass. A lion eats meat. Its dharma is to eat meat and preserve the balance within the ecosystem. Because without the lion, and if there are too many cows, all the cows will eat all the grass, and there will be no more grass, and then there'll be no more oxygen, and the world will be a barren place. So when you judge people for eating meat, you are also judging these carnivorous animals that eat meat, and it is their inherent dharma to eat meat. And you may think that an orca or a lion or a shark is a demonic entity because it eats um, animals. It eats other living beings. But then tell me, why are a lot of demonic entities depicted with bull-like horns? And well, that's probably has to do with the fact that um, it's, I don't know, you know, it's like cows can be kind of seen as like bulls, and like whatever can be seen as like a form of Luciferian worship, because, you know, Lucifer can be kind of associated with like the sun, and plants you know, get their energy directly from the sun. I don't want to offend anybody here, but you know, like cows are eating the plants and we need the plants to breathe. And, you know, then it's like, you know, lion can be seen as the villain, but it can also be seen as the hero because it is maintaining the balance. It is preventing, you know, overpopulation of cows and deers. You know, it keeps them, you know, like usually they go for the sick ones, you know, and so like if they did not go for the sick cows and deers, right, then these sick cows and deers could infect and cause epidemics within the populations of these deers. And if you look at the like population um, fluctuations, oscillations in relation to like herbivores and carnivores, when carnivore population decline, herbivore populations will skyrocket and then crash. And this typically deals with this could deal with immune related, disease related issues or starvation related issues, right? So like going back to what I said, you do have, like, the universe has made fruits for you. Like mangoes, bananas, those are some of like the best fruits. Acai, dragon fruit. There are, I think, jackfruit. You know, you may say like, oh, like a vegan diet, you know, is low in B vitamins. However, I believe the jackfruit is perhaps the one or one of the few only fruits to naturally produce B vitamins. Now, jackfruits, I think I've tried dried jackfruit, and I'd say that tastes pretty fucking damn good. However, I think the jackfruit does kind of have an off-putting smell, but it does not taste like it smells. Jackfruit does kind of taste like kind of candy-ish like, and so yeah, I haven't had jackfruit in a minute. Also, like goji berries are super good because they're really good for your eyesight. Elderberries are also very good for eyesight too. I think goji berries are also really high in protein too, so that's very important. Um, do nuts count as fruits? Possibly. I need to look more into that. But so yeah, it's like the cow eats the grass, the lion eats a cow, and order is maintained. There's like, it's karma and dharma. But I'm just gonna end this. But yeah, fruit based diet versus plant based diet.